hello there. I hope you're having a super Sunday, and we're going to make it a super sewy Sunday as well. We have got brand new builder block coming up for you in this show. You guys are so excited already in the comments to see what you're going to be creating with those. And also we've got a really special promotion running. We're going to ease into May all the way up until the end of tomorrow. When you spend £30 or $30, you'll receive 10% off, which I just think is a lovely little bonus, isn't it? Talking of lovely little bonuses, I'm in the studio today with Bernie. How are you, Bernie?
Hiya, Joe. I'm struggling to hear actually because of the rain that's just started outside. We can hear it on the roof, it's pounding down. So if you hear any strange noises, it's the rain upstairs. But yeah, I can't wait for this new launch. I mean, look at this creation. Absolutely stunning. And all to do with those builder blocks where we've done all the work for you. So yeah, so I'm going to be demoing those today. And also I'm going to be showing you with our panel dies how to make this cute little, I've put my rotary cutter in it, but you can have it for a glasses case or a phone case or something like that. But it's decorated on both sides as well using our cork fabric. So that's in our Save a Stitch deal later on.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Make sure you stay tuned for those because yes, we've got new launches. Yes, we've got gorgeous fabrics and we will have Save a Stitch deals for you as well. I have got beautiful half-metre fabrics coming up for you in the show, but I also want to tell you about a couple of other items. So I've got an amazing 18-piece section of 18-piece fabric strip rolls. The pretty pinks particularly is very, very low in stock. Over 80% has gone. The ocean waves is also almost gone. You're going to need to be quick for that as well. You've also got your brilliant blues. Oh, hang on. It turns out you need to be quick for all of these, right? The brilliant blues is also over 80% has gone. That glorious green, 80% of that one has gone as well. And you've got the marvellous Merlot. Guess what? 80% of that has gone as well. If you want these, you get 18 strips on each of those. Be quick for them. We launched them last week. They were very, very busy. We've also got a brilliant fat quarter bundle for you as well in a whole array of different gorgeous colours in there. 85% of that has sold out now and gone too, so do grab that. But we are going to be talking a lot today about the brand new launch that we have got for you with Builder Block. Already both of these 40% sold. You guys have been clearing us out in the pre-sales. You've got two different options in here. So this one that you're looking at here, this is your Kaleidoscope. I just love the patterns that you're going to be able to create with these. Lots of different dies in here, which means you're going to be able to put these together in lots of different ways. $49.99 or $54.95. That becomes $47.99 or $51.96 for Club Inspired Platinum members. But we're going to first have a look at this one here, which is the Nautilus. Again, absolutely gorgeous. A full selection of dies in here for you to enable you to do all of that cutting with your seam allowances taken care of, making what would be traditionally very complicated blocks very, very easy. If you want to go for the Nautilus, $59.99 or $64.95 becomes £48 or $52 as a Club Inspired Platinum member. Now, if you want to get in touch with me, you can do so in all the usual ways. Crafters TV across on Facebook, or of course, if you are over on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe there. We are Crafters Companion over there. Drop into the comments. Our social media superstar for today is the lovely Rachel, and she will pop your comments my way. Now, a very exciting show then, Bernie. It's always lovely to have brand new items on the show, but Builder Block really, it's like our legendary sort of soft crafting product really, isn't it?
It is, and it's just gone from strength to strength. So we started out with the Builder Block and Builder Block Plus, and then we brought Builder Block Curves, and then the double wedding ring, the pineapple, and now we've got the Kaleidoscope and the Nautilus. I've got the Kaleidoscope here. Did you have one as a child, Joe? I had one where you look. I wish I still had it because I used to play with it for hours. But this, I mean, this is using our new fabric as well, which is absolutely stunning, and it, you know. There's only 3 colours being used here, but you can use as many colours as you want. The good thing about it, when we start looking at it in the booklet shortly, we actually give you the grid so you can make your own patterns and put your own colours in to decide. Now, you do get some in the booklet, I mean, look at the little tiny one. How cute is that?
Super cute.
You do get some in the booklet, but also you can download it free online. Now, I've had a look. I'll pop the link up after the show,
okay,
so people can go in and have a look and start planning before their builder block even arrives. So, you know, you can start planning all your colours. But I just absolutely love it. I just think it's so cute. And on this one, because of the way the colours are, the light and dark, to me, I think it looks a bit like trumpets. Or like a flower, you know them flowers that have, so that's the inside.
Yeah.
So so just depending what colours you use. But the one I'm going to demo today is the Nautilus.
Okie doke.
So this one here, I mean, Nautilus is very, very sea-like, very waves, isn't it? There's also another design out there called Snail Trail, which you can actually make this into by just rotating this centre point here as well. So you can get different ones. And again, we've used them fantastic fabrics that they just complement each other just on a plain background. I do like, when I'm using builder blocks, I tend to, if I'm having some as patterned, I'll always have a plain one in the background. Okay. Or vice versa, patterned in the background, plain in the forefront, just so you've got that contrast for it to stand out. So this is the one I'm going to do today. So what, if anyone hasn't had builder block before, let me just show you what it's all about. So what it is we're giving you a fantastic storage system as well to store them in. And when they come to you, they'll all be in like a drawer format. So if you've got these stacked on your shelves, or you've got them upright on like a bookcase, they're all going to neatly fit together. And then once you go inside of here, see, you're going to get this booklet. And in the booklet, what it does, so it's giving you step by step tips on how to cut. With these ones, you can make 3 different size finished blocks, which is 6-inch, 8-inch and 12-inch. Tells you which way to put them on your fabric. And then it's giving you the diagram and how many you need to cut. So like your little recipe card, if you like. And then you have got your step-by-step photographs of how to put them together. But that's what I'm going to do today as well. And then if I go to the back, I was telling you about those charts. So look, so you're getting the charts in here. So you can use these out of here. You can photocopy this. The link is actually, if you go to Crafters Companion /build-a-block. That'll take you to all the builder block section, and you'll be able to find these downloads. So like I say, if you've ordered today, or you've already ordered pre-show, you can start putting your colours on there.
That'd be exciting, Bernie, working out what you're going to make.
Yeah, I mean, get the kids involved as well. Or, you know, you can just start playing. It's just so much fun. You get quite a few in there as well. I think you get about 8.
Oh, nice.
No, 10. You're getting some on the back page as well. So you're getting quite a lot in there to do. So once you've opened the box, you've got your booklet. So we know we've got the instructions in there what to do. You also get, this is what we refer to as a road map. Now you do get a plastic cover over the top of here. I've took mine off. Because that's more or less to keep, when it's brought to you, it's all lovely and pretty. I take mine off and just, in fact, I keep it to put bits of paint on, you know, like a bit of a paint palette. Oh, really? It's quite handy, or to spray things on as well, so you're not wasting, it's not going straight in the recycling. So you've got all of your sizes here. It actually tells you on here as well which one. So in the book, if it says you need to cut 2 large corners or whatever, I'm going to look here. I know that this one here is my large corner. So you don't need to measure any of these. You just need to look for the wording and find them. And then, if by magic, it's the same in the tray. So you know exactly which ones you're going to get out. And the other thing as well, these all have little, I call them like little lips. You can actually see them there on that one. Yeah, that's a good one there. So that holds them in. So they're not going to fall out. You're not going to lose them. So I know I've mentioned before, like my other dies at home, a lot of them, if I haven't still got them in packaging, they've sort of, well, maybe got a bit mixed up. With these, you can't get them mixed up, so you're going to put them back in the place where they belong. And
I think, Bernie, it's fair to say, isn't it, when it comes to quilting, if you don't get this element right, the cutting out, I mean, you're fighting a losing battle, really, aren't you?
Yeah, you do. That's the one thing with patchwork and quilting is you do need to have that accuracy to get to your finished result. And that's one of the things that's great about our dies, because that accuracy is done for you. You don't need to think about it. All you need to do is die cut your fabric, and then you can start piecing them together. Obviously, you need to get your 1/4-inch seam allowance, but then you'll see that they'll soon start building up. And then, like I say, once you start getting into the designs and making multiple ones, it's going, oh, If that's one of my little hairs on there. That's a hair. There was a hair aggravating me earlier, and I think I just found it.
Found it.
You know,
Well, at least it's not aggravating you anymore.
I thought it was stuck on my glasses, and I kept going like this. Where is it? But yeah, so you soon start building your design up and make it as big or as small as you want. So let's do some cutting out, right? Let me get my plates.
A lot of people talking about these in the comments. Michelle Parsons saying, I think with my Gemini Pro, I could lay out almost all of the pieces in one go. Gosh, you'd be able to make something so quickly. Kerry saying hi. And Michelle says, my imagination has been running wild with the Nautilus builder block. I can't wait to see what everyone starts making, Bernie. Can you, once they get them home, play around with all the different patterns and colour combinations?
That's what I love to see. So when people have got home and they've raided the stash, or if you've treated yourself to some of our new fabrics, everyone who's doing it's going to have a different take on it as well. So everyone has different ideas. So right, I want to cut for the 6-inch block, so I'm going to do the small block, because normally when we do them we do the big block, but I'm going to go for the 6-inch one.
Okay.
But the recipe's the same of what you need to cut. So for this one, in 2 colours, so I've got a fabric A and a fabric B. So I'm just going to work out. So I need to have my centre and round pieces, my round 2, round 3, and my 2 corners. And that's all you need for them. So I'm going to get my little road map, and you soon get used to which ones are which. So let me get my little scissors. So I want the small centre, so I'm going for the small size. So I know that that's that one. And I just use my scissors, or you could use a pencil or a pen just to get them out, because I can't get them with my daft nails. And then this one's a small one as well. So I know I just want to look for all the small ones and get them out. There we go. And then I think I've got a small one up here. Yeah. So I'm going to get that one out as well. And I should have another small one somewhere, which is this one down here, right at the bottom. So I've got my pieces out, she says. There we go. And I'll just put my box out the way. So I've got all my pieces out, and then what I'm going to do, and this is the bit I just want to show, because sometimes this throws people a little bit of how you place them on your fabric. So there's a thing called cutting against the grain, and what happens is, you know, if you're cutting, and you hear that phrase, cutting on the bias.
Yes.
So you get that little bit of stretch. So when you're putting patterns together, you need to make sure that you're sewing stretch to stretch seams, and other seams that are straight to straight.
Right.
And what that helps is, if you've ever done a block and you haven't matched them, your block might be a little bit distorted. So that could be why. So what I'm doing is I'm looking and thinking, right, well, this is my corner piece here. So I know that when I put that on my fabric, I'll put it to the side there, you'll be able to see. There we go. Let's put that so you can see both of them. We can work through them together. There we go. So my corner one is this way on. So there we go. I'm going to pop that one on there like that. And then I want round 3. I'm working up this one. This one needs to go that way. And then round 2.
Oh, so it's just all laid out for you there. You can't really go wrong then.
No.
You've got all the pictures that support how it needs to go. I guess, is it just a case of making sure you've got your fabric folded in the right direction, Bernie?
Yes. Yes. So if you fold it, so you've got your selve edges to selve edges, and then fold it again.
Okay.
So it's straight. There we go. And my selve edges are along my bottom bit here. You can't quite see. There we go. So you can see my selve edges there. There we go. So you could tape those down. I probably would, but just for speed today, I'm not going to. But it does tell me that I'm going to cut. What have I got? I've got 8 layers here. Why not? Let's go for it.
Why not? 8 layers of quilting quality cotton.
Yeah,
as
well, I've got me fabric plates that are still on the way here. They're not here yet. So
they will be coming very soon, we hope.
Oh, I'm waiting on a date of when they expected in. And then I'll be getting even more excited.
Loads of people tuning in from all over today. Georgianne is in Clearwater, Florida. Michelle's in Pennsylvania. Shadiah says, good morning, Prince Joe and the lovely Bernie. Teresa's saying hi as well. Evelyn's in Colorado. And Sonia is in a very wet Lancashire. It's very wet here as well in the northeast. It is wetter than an otter's pocket, as my mum would say.
It is. Prince Joy.
I know, that's what Shadiah always calls me.
Shadiah.
I love it.
Oh, bless. I love listening to read. And when I go home as well, and I do sit and read all the comments back and reply to a lot of people as well, because I love reading them. So I'm just going back to my instructions here, and I need double the amount of the centre and the first round pieces. So I'm just going to cut another one of those again. Now, I've actually cut enough for 2 blocks here, because I've put them all through. So unless you only want 1 block, then cut multiples, because you're going to have them, even if you pop them in a little bag and you've got them for another time, your pieces are already cut out.
Absolutely. Michelle saying, I'm going to be making some patriotic wreaths with the Hessian rolls. I'm going to use some of the builder block dies to cut the fabric. I think this will really cut down on the cutting time. Absolutely, it will. Rachel, our social media superstar, letting us know it's very sunny where she is. She's near Peterborough. Oh. There you go. The sun is shining in the east of England.
So we in the wrong place, because literally just before the show, the heavens opened. I could hear it on the roof.
Very wet.
We're going to get wet. Hopefully it'll stop when we finish, Joe. Well, when I finish, you've got a longer day than me, haven't you? I'm going home. My mum's making dinner this week, so.
A friend said to me the other week, you know, oh, I was really annoyed. We're in town. It started raining, and he said to me, as long as you just accept the fact that you're going to get wet, it doesn't become annoying anymore. And I was like, do you know what? I guess that's a pretty good way of looking at it. Just accept the fact that you're going to get a bit wet, and then you're all right. You're happy. You get on with your day. It's fine. That is my little bit of wisdom for you on this Sunday.
It is.
That is my sermon to you.
It's good advice, that, Joe. I just want to show this about the little amount of waste that I've got there. I could have actually got them closer. And if you were cutting these out with a rotary cutter, you're going to have a little bit of waste as well when you're cutting it out. So don't think that because you're putting the dies on, you're going to have a lot of waste, because you aren't. I mean, I'm keeping them folded together like that because I know that I can use all of this space to cut more out when I need to.
Okey-doke.
And then my little bit of scraps can go for stuffing. So you're not actually wasting anything.
What would you stuff with them?
So, like dog beds and things like that.
Okay.
If you do it like a doorstop and you need some bits of stuffing in, anything like that.
All right,
yeah,
brilliant.
pin cushions, all sorts. Right, so what I'm going to do now is start laying out my blocks. So the first thing that I always do is I always have the picture in front of me. Okay? And then I start by placing them. So I've got the dark blue and the mid blue here. I know they're not the official names, but they are.
Navy and brilliant blues.
Thank you, Joe. See, you've got to keep me right.
Well, it's Erin keeping me right and then me keeping you right.
Oh, I wasn't bursting your bubble there, Joe, for you.
That's why sometimes it ends up like some weird game of Chinese whispers where we say, you know.
So I know I've got my 4 outside ones here. Let me start off in the centre with the dinky ones. And I've got the little dinky ones here. So I'm just going to lay out all the block just so you can see. Is this how you'd normally do it? Outsides, then insides, and then build it up from there? Well,
Bernie?
I normally go insides first, but
okay.
I picked up the outside ones and then I thought, no, I need to be going on the inside ones. So there's my first round. And then, so that's my centre. And then my round 1 is that shape again. And once you start stitching these together and you're getting your seam allowances on, they will fit. Because at the minute, it'll look like they don't fit. But if you look, that actually is the same length on there. So let me just quickly lay these out so you can see. And this is exactly how I do it at home. I have them all laid out next to me. So I can put them back down in the right place and I'm not going to get them mixed up. But sometimes I still do. It does happen. All right, have I got that one there? See, that one's that side. And what you'll see is with these ones, if you're following the pattern that we've done as the example, you actually always, your colours are always opposite. So once you start stitching them together, you're always going to be doing opposite colours. And then we've got one more round to go in. And that looks like that is not going to fit. But once all of those seam allowances are put together, that will fit perfectly. And as you can see, we've got the corner, the ends, the points cut off. So they're your dog ears. So what they are, so once you've sewn a block together, you've got bits of fabric hanging out the outsides and you have to go and trim them. Oh, I've got 2 there. what we do is we take that already off the die. So for one, it's saving a little bit of fabric and it's taken that step out. But when you're joining a number of blocks together, you're always going to have some little bits to trim, but the majority of them aren't. So that's the block, and it looks actually,
Beautiful.
you think, well, it doesn't look the same as that because
No.
it hasn't been stitched together. But we can see how that navy is swirling round there, and then the brilliant blue is swirling round that side. So, and like I say, I've got enough there to make another block. So I'm going to skip ahead a tiny bit because I've started sewing some of these and then I'm going to sew the rest on.
Okay.
So, where shall we go? Tell you what, if I move the machine slightly there, that's it, right. So, I always start in the centre, and I'm going to sew these two pieces together here. So that's that piece there. So you can see I've sewn them two together. Then I'm going opposite, and I've sewn them two together. And then I'm going to sew them two together. So once you've sewn them two together, you're going to have your centrepiece like that.
Nice.
So you can see now how that's gone smaller because of the seam allowance. Okay. And then what we're going to do is add these ones around the outside. So always add them opposite first. So we'd add those two on. Then we'd add those two on. So we'd get the new square. And then we'd do the next round. So again, we'd add opposites. So we're going to add that one on, that one on, that one on, that one on. Nice. And then once you've sewn all them together, it's going to look like that.
Ah, so there
so
we
you can see how it's starting to build up. Yeah. So I'm going to quickly stitch the rest on. I'm going to keep that in order, and that's always going to stay next to me to remind me where it needs to go. And I'm going to put that back in the centre. So if I now get my machine round, there we go. Now I've set my 1/4 inch seam. It doesn't matter if you start with these opposites or these opposites, but I would always do opposites. So I'm going to bring this in, and you can see there now, when I put that on there, can you see how that fits perfectly? It lines up perfectly. So that's then, with those dog ears hanging off, you don't have to think about where it's lining up. You don't need to measure anything. You just need to put the fabric together and then take it to your machine and stitch that 1/4 inch seam. There we go.
What's the best way for ensuring you're getting a 1/4 inch seam, Bernie?
So it depends on the machine that you're using. Some machines will come with a 1/4 inch foot, and normally your needle position, if you're using a 1/4 inch foot, will be in the centre.
Right.
If you don't have a 1/4 inch foot, a lot of machines, including our Stitch Pro, a lot of Brother machines, Janome machines, Toyota machines, if you put your standard foot on and set your needle position to 5.5,
yeah,
then you'll get a 1/4 inch.
Okay,
if that seems a little bit big, then move it over to 6.
Okay, cool.
And then that'll be your 1/4 inch. And also use the same machine, because
Right.
if you use a different machine through a project, different machines can have different 1/4 inches. It sounds really weird, but it does happen. So if you're going to do a project, stick to the same machine. Unless you have a mishap with your machine, then obviously you've got to move on to one of your spare ones. If I've lost count how many machines I've got.
How many machines have you got,
Oh,
Bernie?
I'm not sure, but I'm about to get another one.
I love that. Don't ask me about that, but I might be getting a new one.
Yeah, well, it's actually an old machine from the 60s, and it's in a table, and I'm wanting like the proper table to house my machine in. So the machine's actually is an extra because it's the table I want. But I'm just waiting for the lady to get back to me on measurements to see if it'll fit in my car. So I do like a bargain.
How local is it? Could we carry it?
The machine you could, but not the table. It's up at Barnard Castle, so I'll be having a ride out to Barnard Castle if anyone's heard of Barnard Castle. So yeah, so I'm waiting for the lady to come back to me. So.
Oh, how exciting!
So I can see there. What I did was I finger pressed those open. So when you add them on, you always want them open. You don't want to be leaving them closed. Look at all my threads. To put your next one on, and then I put the opposite one on there and the opposite one. So I'm going to stitch that on, and we can just see how quickly these come together. And like I say, because you don't have to think about those measurements, if you were planning this at home without Build-A-Block, obviously you're going to have a pattern. It's going to give you measurements on. You're then going to have to go through those measurements, get it in your head on what you need to do, because I don't know about you, Joe, but sometimes I have to read through a few things quite a few times to get it so I understand it.
I have to read it a few times and then keep reading it as I'm doing it mostly,
yes.
Bernie.
But then you've got to cut them out. So you're measuring again, you're cutting them out. You need to make sure they're accurate. With these, you don't have to. So we can see again now, I've put that round on. I'm now starting doing these ones. Can you see again? Perfect. Absolutely fits perfectly. And that's what I love about these. You just don't have to think. The worst thing for me is choosing your fabric and what colours you're going to use. That's the worst part for me. And like I say, I don't have to think about the pieces.
No, it gets all in there and done for you.
Yeah.
Lots of people absolutely loving these at the moment. Gilmore says, like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yes.
Michelle's got a question actually about fabric glue. Says, Bernie, if you use the fabric glue to join your pieces together, will it harm the fabric or become permanent if you leave it on too long?
Ah, right. So if it's proper fabric glue, so you can, we've got the, I don't know if we've got any of these in stock on the website, but we've got the Sticks 2 glue pen, and that would be where you could actually, if you're unsure, and we do this a lot on curves, what you can do is put it on there to help you stitch. It's made to let you stitch through it.
Okay.
It's made to also, this one will wash out. The Collal textile glue in the white bottle will withstand up to 40 degrees.
Okay.
So after that, it dries clear as well. So you can see there that now I've stuck that's now going to let me stitch through it. It's not going to harden the fabric or anything like that because it's made to work with fabric. If you just use an ordinary glue, like a PVA or like a school glue or something like that, if it's not made for fabric, it could actually mark your fabric as well.
Okie doke. The glue is not in stock at the moment. I'm sure it'll be coming back in very soon.
We've got this. See, I've got my bag of goodies here, Joe. I have everything in my bag of goodies. We've got the Collal textile
Okie doke.
glue if that one's in stock. So that's the other one. You can do exactly the same job.
That, I believe, is going to be one of your weekly sewing deals next week.
Oh, yes. So this here, I'm reading the back. It's perfect to quickly hem clothes.
Okay.
Example, jeans. Washable till 40 degrees, transparent when dry. Apply a thin layer to both surfaces, allow to dry, and then press it, and it'll stay glued together.
Brilliant.
But
and it'll be on a 3 for 2 next week as well.
Brilliant. So yeah, so get stocked up on that then when that's in there, because yeah, I do use a lot of that. But you know what? I've had that bottle forever. So 3 for 2 is going to last you a long time. Yeah. So I've pressed those over there, and now I'm putting my last 2 on. Now you'll notice that I don't pin. I tend not to, unless I have to.
Is that you being naughty?
No, it's personal preference, to be honest. But yeah, I tend not to if I don't need to. But I just want to talk about that bias edge quickly, just before I put these last 2 on. So this piece here is that big corner piece, and we can see how it's stretching.
Yeah.
What that means is when your block is finished, you want your outsides of your block to not be stretchy.
Right.
When you stitch them together. So therefore, the book told me to put that one on the angle, so that's the stretch. So stretch to stretch. So if I stretch these 2, I know they're going to stretch because that was the way the booklet told me to.
Right,
Can you see there it's stretching?
So you don't want one half of your seam to be stretching, the other not to be stretching.
So these 2 are the stretchy sides on this triangle. This was the straight side because those were the straight sides on that triangle. And again, we've worked that out. You don't need to think about it. You just follow the instructions in the booklet. And it's all these little, I don't want to say tricks, but tips and hints and tips that's going to get you to that finished project that you're going to be absolutely buzzing about.
Beautiful, says Colleen. I can't wait till I can try my builder block and make a full quilt. Rosalind says Bernie makes it really easy for us to put these together. Shadiah saying, great point, Bernie. I have a singer and 2 genomes. Yes, if you start a project on one, you have to continue it. I learned from that mistake.
Yes, and like I say, unless you have a problem with your machine and you have to use a different one. It's actually a singer, this old one, that I'm going to get. But like I say, I only want the table. But if the machine works, then hey, that's a bonus, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, right.
I've got visions of it being like some sort of, I know you've said like a table, like some sort of like, something you'd see in a weaver's shed where you're going to like do it with your foot, Bernie, to like get it going.
Yeah, well,
they
were the ones that it used to be like, and then when when machines became electric, a lot of them were converted.
Ah, okay.
But this one is made for an electric one, so yeah, I'm very excited. I hope I get it. I'll put pictures on if I get it. So there's the block finished.
Nice.
So
beautiful.
I just want to, where's that? Right, so the lady who just commented there saying that they can't wait to do a quilt. So if you do, I mean, this is the small block. I'm just going to hold up this quilt. This is the one that's on the packaging. Wait, look at the right way. I can't. It's that big. Who made this? Wendy Pegs. Look at that.
Love that.
Absolutely.
So how many blocks are in there then, Bernie?
Oh, let me count from the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. About 20, I think. I lost count.
All we can see is you holding it up going, whoa. Whoa.
No, there's more than 20. I'll count them. I'll let you know.
Is it 4 by 6?
I'll tell you why, because if I lay it down here, you'll see why I was confused there. So what Wendy's done is she's done the block here.
Yeah.
And this is the 8-inch block. So if I hold my 6-inch one, ignore my threads, over the top, and you can see there that it's a smaller one.
Yeah.
And then what she's done is she's done a rectangle next to it.
Right.
And that's then has given, and it's a bit like a drunkard's path sort of design then, swirling across. So it just shows you, if you put another block in there, how much different it makes it as well.
Erin's having a good old chuckle because she's not heard a drunkard's path.
Oh, well, we'll have to show us some drunkard's path. So it's there's some really weird names.
When the pub's open again, we'll show you. No worry about that, Erin.
Yeah, there's some really weird names for.
What's the strangest ones? Give us a little rundown of some of the oddest names.
There's shoe fly.
Shoe fly.
There's the barn door.
Right.
Let me think of some of the ones. Grandmother's garden.
Grandmother's garden, right.
I'm trying to think of some other one. I mean, our builder block curves, you've got Rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
That's always a strange one. If you think, well, why would that be called a block? But yeah, there's a lot of them. I should do some research before the shows of why they called certain ones.
Are they just all traditional names, are they?
Yeah, there's a lot of traditional names out there. There's some really wonderful, weird ones. Next time we're on, Joe, I'll bring some in. I'll do some homework, brilliant. And I'll bring some. Just the names of some strange blocks in for you.
All right. Well, we're together again next Sunday, so...
Oh, well, there you go.
Brilliant.
There's my homework for next week. But yeah, so that's it. So I've done that. That's the 6-inch one. You can do the 8-inch ones and the 12-inch ones, and the same with the Kaleidoscope as well. And those sizes work with our other builder blocks, because all the other builder blocks, you can do those sizes as well. So again, you can mix and match. So you could have a 4-patch if you've made with your builder block original set, 6-inch block, next to one of those that's a 6-inch block as well. So you can start and build up your designs and have them, however you want. Everyone's just going to be different because you're making the choice.
Absolutely. Really busy across both of these. Remember what you've got in here. So the one that you've just seen, the lovely Bernie demonstrating, is of course the Nautilus, which is this one just here. The great thing is what you've got is 12 big fabric dies in there for you, which is great. Over half, I'm hearing, of our launch stock has now gone. Obviously, we bring you a big stock when we are launching brand new products here on Crafters TV. We expect to have these in stock for at least a few months. So it really is a lot of the stock gone. What you you're also getting there in the box is, of course, all of your different dies in there, full instructions on there too. There are supporting video tutorials over on our website for the builder block range as well, so you know that you have got all of the education you need to take you step by step through these. Also, you'll be able to watch this show back at any point. So after you've got this home, come back, make a note of the show time and date right now, and you'll be able to come back and see that tutorial again, which is awesome. So you've got the Nautilus there for you. £48 or $52 thereabouts for Platinum members. We do also have available the Kaleidoscope, which for Platinum members is about £40, $44. Again, exactly the same concept for you. It's going to enable you to make something really striking. I do love the finished designs that this does for you. Both of them allow you to make 6-inch, 8-inch and 12-inch blocks. So you're going to really be able to play around from smaller cushions right up to huge, massive quilts, which is absolutely fantastic. So loads of different options for you. Should I say she's got the Drunken Pathway and Rob Peters paper. Michelle says, my first sewing machine was an original Singer Electric. It's now about 125 years old. 125 years old, how amazing is that? And belongs to my great grandmother. I still have it and still sews like a dream, which is fantastic. Now, up next, we're going to have a look at something which has always been popular. However, we've put a very, very lovely discount on it for you. You can save 25%. Also, don't forget about Ease into May. Means that when you're spending over £30 or dollars after your discount has come off, you'll save an extra 10% as well. So a really, really great price on this. We are, of course, talking about the Shape Creator. Now, I'm always blown away with this, Bernie, with the amount, the sheer volume of shapes that can be created.
It's an amazing product. This is in my top 3. I've actually got my top 3 products here, Joe. So, the fabric plates.
Right.
Obviously, they're my number 1 now, the fabric plates. Number 2, stick and spray.
Ooh.
There we go. Stick and spray, that's my number 2. This one is my number 3. Absolutely amazing product. And what it is, when you first look at it, you think, oh, well, it's a big piece of acrylic, and there's grooves in it. So if I just put my finger there, you can see there that there's actually grooves in there, and they all at half-inch increments. And what it means is you can, like you say, Joe, you can cut lots of different shapes with these. You've got your fabric strips, your squares, your barrier strips. You can cut circles with it, triangles, diamonds, hexagons. You can actually cut your parallelograms and trapeziums as well. So all of your geometric shapes with your angles, because you've got your angles on here, your 30 and your 45 and your 60-degree angles, you can do that. Just a quick array of samples that you can make with this. I mean, this is a Bargello quilt. Let me just hold that. If anyone knows me, they do know I like a Bargello design. You can cut that with your strips on the Shape Creator, sorry. I've got a bag here that we've cut the squares out of, the bottom base, the full lining, the straps, everything was cut on the Shape Creator. And then going from the wider ones, go to little thin strips as well. So we've got the hexagon there that you can cut, and you can cut all of these strips as well. You know, so you're going from that small cut, anywhere from 1/4 of an inch up to, does it go up to 16 inches in one go you can actually cut. But if you folded your fabric, obviously you're going to have more. And then I mentioned circles, Joe. You can cut circles out on it as well. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we use it. Now, I'm using I've got a choice of blades to use. So I know we've got on the show, we've got the 45.
We do.
And we've got the 60 mil.
Both come with a free replacement blades as well, which is nice. I'll take you through those in a little while.
So you get blades in the box, and then there's another packet of blades in the bundle, isn't it, as well? So it's a really good bundle. Now, both of these, and the 28, if you already got that, I know we had that on offer last week. These, all 3 of them, let me get it, there we go, this little family. So all 3 of them will work with this. And I know I've had a few questions before, people asking me, will the 60 work in here? And it will, I'm going to show you how. Right, so let me just get a bit of fabric and just show you quickly how this is actually going to work. So this is one out the fat quarter packing. See, I've been using it. Oh, That's
still very busy on that fat quarter pack.
the
as
cat's
well.
been
It
laid
has
on
nearly
this.
gone. The cat's laid on it?
Yeah, I've got a cat here. Honestly,
Oh, no.
One of them got locked in my sewing room the other night. Then I couldn't get in my sewing room because he'd like scratched at the carpet to try and get out.
Oh dear.
So I had to like wedge the door open. Honestly, funny games in my house with all my animals.
Sounds like a menagerie at yours.
It is, it is. So what I've done is I've laid that, I've just folded it in half. I quite comfortably cut 4 to 6 layers with this, but when you first start using it, maybe just do 1 or 2 till you get, you know, used to it, because it will feel a little bit alien at first because of the way you cut up those grooves. And what I'm doing is I'm lying it between this grid. So you've got like little, if I put it on there, you can see the little diamonds. That's where your blade's going to start and finish. But you don't want to put your fabric under there because you want to be cutting it within the grid. So I'm just going to line it up in there. I'm just going to do a couple of cuts just so you can see it in action. And then this end one here, this one is when you're neating up. So you know when you start cutting fabric, you always want to neaten up one end. But then you've got to turn your fabric or turn your ruler or turn yourself to start cutting it from the other way. With this one, you don't need to move the fabric. Once you've got that under there, it's there and it's cut. And then what happens is your blade actually sits in that groove and just cuts up.
Perfect.
Just cuts up like that. I've just done a couple there, and you can see there that actually, they are perfect. So we've trimmed our little bit off the rubbish, and then we've got a 2-inch strip there. Now similarly, I'll line that back up because I moved it. That was with the 45. I'll use the 60, so you can see the 60. And again, I'm just going to put it in. Now you can see that I'm tilting that a little bit, and that's something that I've found that when I start doing this, that's what I like to do. Let me just move it up a little bit so you can see that physical bottom of what I'm doing there. I've found that this is the way that I've done it, and a few people online, I've seen people do it this way as well. So you're going to have your blade, I tend to have it on a little bit of a tilt, and what you can do is just ease that apart a little bit till you get used to doing it. It fits in that little diamond, if you like.
Yep. And I guess the great thing is that your hands are, unlike maybe if you're not that confident, unlike a ruler, your hands are well out the way with this, aren't they?
Yes, definitely, definitely. So what I thought would do, Joe, I thought I'd incorporate those blocks that I made before, that block that I made before. I've done another little 2 at home. There we go, I've got my 3 blocks there. And what I thought was I'd make a little cushion.
Okay, lovely.
And I'm going to put a boat on it because this is sea, these are my waves.
Oh, it's stormy
So I'm going to
today.
make a little boat. So I need some sort of different shapes to make a boat, but I can do them on the Shape Creator.
Brilliant.
So let's see what we need to cut out. So we need the sail for the boat. So I want to cut a square from my fabric. And I want to cut a 6-inch square. So the first thing what you could do is you could cut a strip. It depends if you want to cut a few of them out.
Right.
But I want to cut a 6-inch square. So all I'm doing here is I'm putting it under here. Here's my 6 line, and I'm just going really close to the selve edge because I don't want to waste a lot of fabric. And I know that this, so basically what I'm going to do here is cut up 6 inches. I don't need to cut all the way up to the top. So I'm just going to cut up there and cut up there. So I know that I've done that. So if I just pop that out the way there, you'll see what's happened is I haven't cut all of the top, but I don't want to because I don't want to cut into that top bit. I'm going to turn it round again, just fold that out the way, pop that back down, put my Shape Creator back on, line it back up again, and I'm lining it up just with this line here. Because I've already measured that way, I don't need to measure it again, I just need to line it up. And I'm just taking off the very least that I can on there, on the 6 line and on there. And again, cut up there, and I've now got my 6-inch square. Now to make the sail, I want a triangle, so I just want to cut down the middle. So I've turned it round, and it doesn't matter which one I'm on, I'm just making sure that the top of that square there is going through a groove, and the same groove is going through the bottom one. So I'm just lining it up.
All the lines in the middle then, Bernie, are these going to help us cut all different sort of, what are they called? types of triangles.
Yes.
There's a word for them, isn't there?
Yeah, so you've got your 45 degree and your 60 degree there and your 30. So if you're cutting your, say, 45 degree diamonds, you're going to be using your 45 line. And then similarly for your 60 degree diamonds and your hexagons, you're going to use where you're going to line up against this 60 line. And I'm actually going to do that next, and I'm going to use the 45 because we're going to make the base of the boat. So that's our sail. So we've got our sail there ready.
Keeps raining like that outside. We're going to need this boat to get out of the studio, I tell you.
Right, so I'm just going to make the base of the boat, and this time I want to have I want to cut a, what strip did I start off? I've made some little, wrote my measurements down so I didn't forget. 3.5 inches. So I want to make I want a 3.5 inch out of this. Now this was a fat quarter I was using. I'm using everything. I've got some scraps left over here. I don't throw anything away, as you can imagine, Joe. I keep, I do keep a lot of stuff. So I want a 3.5 inch strip out of this. So again, I'm just folding that over so it fits under. Let's go near the end, line up on any of the vertical lines. And the other thing with this is if people are worried about the ruler moving, with this it doesn't, because you've got that big footprint, if you like, and it's actually holding down the fabric underneath. So we've got our I'm making a right mess here. 3.5 inch strip, so there we go. And then what, if you think about when you have a boat, it's got like angles like up that way, so that's what it's going to look like, like that. So I want to just make one side at a 45 degree angle. So to do that, I'm going to pop that under there. Now this is where you can use it. You can see I've got my A1 mat here, but if you've got the A2 mat as well,
we do.
You can actually use the lines on the mat to help you as well.
Right.
So that's put me whereabouts I want it, so I'll get it in the right place. And then again, I'm going to move this over. Now this line here is my 45 degree line on my ruler, on my shape creator, sorry. So what I've done is I've lined up the top edge of this fabric with that line, and I'm just lining up the little point there, again like we dissected when we were cutting that square in half to make the triangle. And then again, I'm going to come up this line. Now you can start further up like I did there, and that's just from the more you use it, that'll happen. So I've got a perfectly good half square triangle there that I can use for something else that I don't need for this. So I've got that side on, so I now need to do the other side. So I've flipped my fabric over. Again, let's utilise that mat and just pop that over there, line that up, and then you're just going to decide how wide you want your boat really. So 1, 2.5, I'm going to have it to there.
Is it a fishing boat? Is it a cruise liner? You've got the option, haven't you, Bernie?
Well, that's it, that's it. So if I just move my shape creator out the way, we can see now how we're starting to get that little shape of the board. Now the other thing what I've done, and I've done a little bit ahead of time, I cut out some strips of fabric in the blue, and I used all of a fat quarter apart from that. So I've got quite a lot left from a fat quarter. I was surprised how much I had left. And then what I did was I cut a long strip, cut it in half, sewed half onto there and half onto there. So let me get my pieces. We'll start building up. So if I move them out the way, look at the mess. Don't tell anyone, Joe.
Oh, we can't see any mess from this angle.
I know, you can't. I can't even see my Gemini now because I'm... So I've got my top bit of sky there. Then,
a lovely blue sky day in your scene there.
Isn't it lovely? It's lovely. And then I did a little bit, I just cut a little 1 1/4 inch strip there, just to make the masty bit, whatever it's called. And then, there we go, I've got my little boat.
How cute.
I'm going to sew these together, Joe, and then what I'm going to do is sew those Nautilus squares on the bottom. If I move that up, then you can see what I'm going to do, and I'll whiz through them I'm hoping anyone's got some more questions because I love answering questions.
We've got more questions coming in. Keep getting them in. Any questions that you've got, any sewing-related questions you can. How gorgeous is that? Laura's just messaged to say that she's been using her Gemini Pro, Bernie, and she has cut out enough pieces and blocks for 6 whole quilts. Now she's got to sew them together. So it's going to be a busy sewing Sunday in that house, Bernie.
That's going to be busy. That's going to be busy. That's the thing. I mean, if you set aside your time of cut them all out like that, and then that's all done. Because once you start sewing, you don't want to stop. So I do a lot of cutting out at the same time. So I've got it all there, and then I can just sit and sew to my heart's content.
Is the sewing the bit you love then, Bernie, let's face it, not the cutting out bit?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, sewing and designing.
Right, okay.
I love coming up with new ideas. But then obviously you need to make, especially like when I'm doing my classes and things, you've got to make a sample up as well. So I have lots of fun doing that. And some things go wrong sometimes and don't ever get to be a class.
Have you got like a go-to sewing disaster story, Bernie, that that you like to regale from time to time?
Well, I'll have a think, John. See if I can think of
all
one. Yeah.
Anne has pointed
I'll have
out.
to have a think.
Anne says it's a sailboat, Joe. Just pointing that out for me. Thank you, Anne. Lynn says, I'm late joining. Hi, Joe, Bernie, the CTVT and everyone. That's the lovely Lynn in Essex. Rosalind saying, I love my shape creator. Made cutting out the mask kits that I bought so very easy. And Sarah Brown says, I love the names that the sewing community come up with for things. I love, was it the Hawaiian plique? Some of those have got funny names
yes,
as well,
with the breadfruit, the hibiscus, the...
Yes, a breadfruit.
Thai leaf, but I called it tea leaf.
Thai leaf. If you could get fruit that tasted like bread, 5 a day would be no problem for me, Bernie.
Oh, I tell you what, Joe, I have got a funny story about a boat.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to hear that one?
I would love to.
So when I was, how old would I have been? About 13, 14 at school. We used to go on like outward bound up to the Lake District for like a week.
Right.
And we were at Lake Ullswater and we had these little boats. They looked like these actually. They were called toppers.
Toppers?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we were all there in our wetsuits on the lake, and we had to get in one of these boats. You're only one person in the boat. So you had to get in the boat and you had to sort of sail a little bit across the thing. Well, I capsized in mine, didn't I?
Oh,
it was hilarious. And I couldn't get back in.
Oh, dear.
So I was shouting of the team leader, he was called Nigel. I remember shouting, I can't get back. I think I started crying at one point. I'm there in the middle of this lake with my little topper, and he comes along in his speedboat. Said, no, you need to like, not upsize it, whatever. The opposite of capsize.
Uncapsize.
Uncapsize it and get back in. Pull on the rudder and you'll be able to climb back in, no problem. Well, I couldn't, Joe. I couldn't. I really couldn't, and I think I did get upset in it. So in the end, I got hauled into the speedboat. And then it went and happened to someone else as well, so I didn't feel as bad because I was so embarrassed. And then we went for a walk the next day, and a few of us took like the wrong path. he had to come looking for us, blowing his whistle.
Oh, I bet he'd had enough of you by the end of the weekend.
He had.
When I was, something similar happened to me. When I was in Vietnam, I went and did this thing called canyoning, Bernie, which is basically abseiling down waterfalls. And I'm someone that doesn't like water and doesn't like heights, so why did I feel this would be a good idea? So you had to like abseil down, and it's like quite, not like a, a dropping waterfall, like quite a curved one, so it's coming down. And as you sort of start going down and going down and going down, they tell you the worst thing you can do is flip round the wrong way. So going down, the water starts like coming. So it knocks me off my feet, so I can like bash against the rock and then flip round the wrong way. And I also got like this waterfall coming down on top of you.
Joe.
And I was there for like 10 seconds and I was thinking, that's it, this is the end. And then all of a sudden, I managed to flip myself back around the right way. But it's actually all caught. I was doing a vlog at the time and it's all caught on video of me screaming and screaming and screaming. Yeah.
Bless. I remember.
I'll put a link up somewhere on my, they're all on YouTube somewhere. They're very long and very self-indulgent.
We had to do a little bit of abseiling when we were on this course, and that wasn't too bad, although I was scared. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as being stuck in the water and not being allowed back till upstairs. And we did canoeing as well, but they were teaching people how to do Eskimo rolls, but I didn't dare do that.
Eskimo rolls, they sound delicious.
Yeah.
Like an Arctic roll.
You capsize in the canoe, and then you've got to like do this or something
get up again.
to get back round again. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't do it.
Sounds like something that Johnny eats after a couple of beers on a night,
Probably,
doesn't
yeah.
it? An Eskimo roll.
Yeah.
Johnny, by the way, producer Johnny, is very particular, let's say, and he won't mind me telling you this, of having a few tipples of a weekend, and then the other weekend he ate a whole Arctic roll, which is a Swiss roll. Yeah, just as like a little midnight snack. So,
and he was supposed to be in today, wasn't he?
Oh, he wasn't drunk? Oh, I thought he was drunk. He was just hungry. There you go. Well, that's fine
So how many would he have eaten if he was drunk?
I don't know. I've got visions of him holding it like a chocolate bar and just sort of like biting
just
chunks out of
through it.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Erin says that she believes Johnny is basically the human version of Winnie the Pooh. Do you know what, Erin? He really is. I'll never unsee that now.
I hope he's not watching.
I hope he is watching.
We're going to be in trouble.
Joanne says, this is so interesting. I have the mat board, but I can't stop thinking about it. I have the mat board, but to make the 2.5-inch squares for the sew ornament balls. It's nice to see what else can be done with it. Bernie, this is fantastic. What a great tool. He's kind of like, he's just all sort of kind and warm and fuzzy, isn't he? He's got some good Winnie the Pooh energy. Big Winnie the Pooh energy. That's a new term that we can make up now.
That's it. See that? I'll have to do a new limerick for him now with...
oh, yes, please, Bernie. I'd love that.
I need to do one for you, Joe. Have I actually done one for you yet?
I don't think so.
I might be in trouble now. I haven't done Joe. Well, yeah, I'll do you one for next week, Joe.
Okie doke.
I will. That's right.
We're going to have all the fun next week. Funny quilting blocks,
So
limericks, it's all
blocks.
going to happen. You'll have to join us.
Yeah, so if anyone else knows any funny quilting blocks, let us know. So I've sewn all of that. You can see how quickly it goes together.
It does, doesn't
and
it?
I'm just pressing my seams. Now, I've got one little thing missing. We need a sun. So you remember I was saying that builder block, the shape creator, you can cut circles with it. I'm going to cut you a circle if I can find me a little bit of fabric that I brought.
Fantastic. Katie Henderson saying, this really is fantastic. What a great tool. Another quick boat story for you as well, Bernie. When I was 8 years old, my uncle told us that he was taking me on a ferry to London. We lived in Southend. Why would you get the ferry to London? Southend is very close to London, by the way. You just get on the dual carriageway. I don't know why I thought you were on a boat. And where they were actually taking us to was Disneyland Paris for my birthday. How magical. So my uncle, though, used to play lots of tricks on us as a kid. So we drove an hour and a half all the way to Dover. I did think it was like quite a long way, considering how close London normally was. Got on the ferry, and then on the ferry, he told us, me and my little brother, he was actually taking us to Disneyland Paris. And I did not believe a word of it. At 8 years old, so much so that when we got to France and we got off, he wasn't annoyed, but you know, he'd just kind of had enough of me saying we weren't going to Paris at that point, I think. So he turned the radio on and said, look, the radio is in French, we're in France, we're going to Disneyland Paris. And I said, no, you've recorded that and put a cassette in the radio to try and fool me. We were going to Disneyland Paris, I know, how gorgeous.
Oh, Joe, you'd been let down there. So I can't find, I found it. I knew I'd brought some little bit of yellow fabric. Right, so I've got a little piece of yellow fabric. I've got some bonder web on the back because I'm going to iron this little sun on. And I'm going to do a circle. So to cut a circle on here, we can see that we've got curved edges all around here. And that's going to help us do those circles. You've got a quarter circle. So you get your piece of fabric and I'm going to fold it in half and fold it in half again. And when you fold it, just make sure that those folds there are lined up, or you'll have a a conky circle. Well, I don't know if that's one of my sayings again, Joe. A conky.
Conky?
You'll
What
have
does
a
that
conky
mean?
circle, yeah.
Because it's conker's not a
it's
proper
wonky.
circle, because it's a wonky conky.
Wonky conky, yeah. Conky, you don't want a conky circle. So I've turned this around because I'm a lefty, but like I say, this is left or right-handed use.
Cool.
So you could do it on that side. You can also flip it as well. So if I wanted a 4-inch circle, which is up here, I've flipped this over. It's exactly the same, works the same. But I want a 3-inch circle. So all I do is I've put my folds lined up with that line on there. And then what I'm going to do is, because this is a curve, I'm using my 28 for this one. And then all I'm going to do is just cut round. Now this table's a little bit high for me to see over the top.
Okay.
So that's just in case I cut it a bit wonky. But you're following it round like that. And then when you take it out,
oh, perfect.
You've got the perfect circle.
How
so
fantastic.
I think we need a little sun on our boat cushion.
Now, this could be demo of the day today, Bernie, I think.
Well,
we
is
will
Debbie
vote for
Fisher in
demo of the
later?
show.
Is Debbie Fisher in tonight?
Is not in later, no, because...
Good. That's all right then.
No, I know she robbed you of demo of the day last week.
It was hilarious. If anyone didn't watch the show last Sunday night, have a watch back, because it was really
I've actually
funny.
shared the clip onto my Facebook page, Joe Remblance Crafts Companion, so after the show you'll be able to watch back what happened and why Bernie didn't win demo of the day last week. Erin actually agrees that maybe the show is worth a full watch. I happen to agree.
Right. Do you think my sun's about right there, Joe?
I think
needed
it's
that
nice
side,
time.
don't
I reckon it's
that
about 3 p.m. looking at that.
Right, so I'm just ironing it down. So you could stitch this down, but I say I've put some bond web on the back. And you could actually applique these down as well.
Okay.
The other thing is, actually, for that triangle, you could use your builder block. You could use, there was a triangle, just that size, in the Nautilus. So you could actually, you know, cut it with that as well. So there we go. So I'm just going to quickly finish this off, Joe. Now, I know we've got the wadding on the show as well. It was sold so well last week, so some of them are a little bit scarce. But I've got the bamboo 50-50 here, so that's 50% bamboo, 50% cotton. It's a lovely weight to it. It's very similar to the 80-20. So if you usually get the 80-20, and I know we've temporarily sold out that, it is on order, because I just bang on every week.
We've got the 50-50 bamboo cotton wadding available. That's on the show, $9.99 or $13.99. But
yeah, that's absolutely, it's great to use. So I've just put my wadding on the back. So what I'm doing, because I'm making a nice cushion, just to give it a little bit more of a nice feel, a nice soft feel, I've just put some of the wadding on. So I've used my plates today, which is my number 1. I used my Shape Creator, which is my number 3 in my list. I'm now using my Stick and Spray, which is my number 2 on my list. My list's just getting longer and longer, Joe, to be fair.
Honestly, it is. Well, there's so many fabulous things to choose from, isn't there?
There is.
Stephanie says, are there more secrets to this Shape Creator? Well, it's not really a secret, because am I right in thinking, is this the one that's got the instructions up the side, Bernie, that tells you how you create
it has, yeah. So you've got all of the instructions on the side. Let me grab it. So you don't need to remember the packaging. There's a great video online, what Bernie Corner did, and it was the first one that I ever did, Joe.
Was it?
My first, VT, we call them. It was my first one that I ever did.
I love you referring to yourself in the third person. I think you should refer to yourself as Bernie Corner all the time now, rather than me.
It was the Bernie Corner road today. Yeah, so you've got all your instructions on the side here, so you can see, and it tells you how you're cutting your pieces out as well every time, so you don't need to keep your packaging. But yeah, the video is really good because it shows you how to cut all of those individual shapes. But yeah, I do love it.
And the great thing is that you've got a quarter off this at the moment. And don't forget, you've got ease into May too, which is brilliant, running up until the end of tomorrow, whereby if you spend £30 or dollars after your discounts come off, you're going to get an extra 10%, which is absolutely fantastic. So do make sure you take advantage of that, which is fantastic. Now, Bernie, you're just going to, I'm right in thinking you're just going to do a little bit of stitching on the back there.
Yeah, I'm just going to stitch all the way around.
If I just do whiz through a couple of other items while you're doing that?
Perfect.
Brilliant, right.
Because we've been gassing too long, Joe. That's what it is.
It's all that talk about capsizing and Johnny eating Arctic rolls in his pants. That's what it is. I don't know if he was in his pants. I'm not sure. He's always. Oh, okay, move on, Joe. Right. I was going to explain the difference between UK pants and US pants, but you guys know by now. Right. I want to take you and share with you some of these rotary cutters. Now, this is brilliant. This is the 45 mil one that I've got here. The great thing is, these are the ones that unscrew, aren't they, Bernie? And you can use them left or right-handed, yeah?
Yes.
Brilliant.
So when you get them, they actually come as left-handed because of the way they're in the packaging.
Okay.
So you just need to unscrew that, obviously, I didn't, I could leave mine on. Just unscrew it off, put the blade on the other side, and then you're good to go.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What you also get are the replacement blades. You get blades included, you get the replacement blades totally free of charge in there, which is awesome. So do grab that. Then what we've also got for you is the larger one. You've seen Bernie use both through the show. This is the 60mm one, and that is going to also come with those free blades, which is fantastic. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run you through those plain fabrics that we have on the show. I hate that word, plain, because I think it makes it sound boring. They're not boring, they're beautiful, vibrant colours, but they are what you would refer to as plains when it comes to your fabrics. So, right, I'm going to take you through them. So we have the coral, that is the first one that we have here. They're all priced the same, by the way, $4.99 or $6.25. So you've got coral, you've also got merlot, which is that one there. We then have the powder pink for you. Oh, it almost matches, doesn't it? The same colour as my shirt. Hi. You've also then got the emerald there as well, which is brilliant. Glorious green, love that. This reminds me of like snooker and pool tables, this one. You've then got grass green, which is that one. That's almost neon in colour, that one. You've got deep ocean, which is that one there. It's kind of, it's green, but it's got a little bit of a tealiness to it, which is quite nice. You've then got the ocean waves, which is this one here. Sea foam, which is like a mint. I adore this colour. I've got lots of t-shirts at home in this colour. We've got hot pink, yes please. Flamingo pink as well. Do you know flamingos are pink because they eat lots of shrimp? There you go. I think you might have told me that, Erin. Ballerina pink, and I love that I just repackaged it up and gave it back to you. You got ballerina pink. That is the colour of my shirt, isn't it? The next one here is the navy. Then we've got the brilliant blue, sky blue, and then also the black and the white. Did you know black and white are not colours technically? Debbie Fisher was telling me this the other day. They're not colours. It blew my mind. Then what I've got for you as well is the strip rolls. Now, the strip rolls are very, very low in stock. So let's firstly look at the pretty pinks, which is this one just here. You've actually got 18 different pieces on there in a variation of different pinks. I'm just going to turn that around for you so you can see the colourways that you've got in there. 85% of that one has got has gone. We then have the ocean waves, which is down here. You've got some nice greens and blues and sea foam in there. 90% gone there, limited stock on that one. The brilliant blues, which are these ones just here for you, as you can see, that's approaching limited stock on that one. Glorious greens, which are these ones just here, just over 80% of those have gone. And the marvellous Merlot, just over 80% gone. They are made up, of course, of colours in the fabrics that I've just shown you. Then we also have the fat quarters. So the large pieces were a ½ metre. These are a ¼ metre piece. These have just gone limited stock as well. And what you've got is you've got all the colours that I shared with you in the larger fabric pieces without the black and the white, essentially, is what you've got in there, which is fantastic. So they're all in there. A really great little starter kit for you. $34.99 or $39.95 if you want to get a hold of those ones. I was just thinking about that, you know, that, what are they called? One-legged birds. The flamingos, thank you, Charlotte. They are, no, they've got 2 legs. But it just got me thinking, like, if I ate enough of something, could I turn into, you know, the colour of it? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on I want to share with you this. It is, of course, the fabric cutter. This is brilliant. This reminds me of, you know, like the fabric cutters, the paper trimmers that you had at school. It reminds me of one of those, but it is absolutely huge. You're going to get that included in this collection. What you're also getting in here is you're going to get the A2 folding mat as well. So this is brilliant, especially if you maybe sew on your dining table or something like that, because you can just fold it up, pop it away. It's self-healing as well, so you can use your rotary cutter into there and know you're not going to damage it. And that is a great price to get the two of those together. You save £24.98 in the UK or £30.94 if you are in the US. You can get this for £52 or $71 as a platinum member as well, which is brilliant. Bernie, that cushion is looking gorgeous.
Looks fab, doesn't it? It's all finished. I've got the sea there with those Nautilus blocks. I'm just doing a quick tidy. I'm all tidy now. But how fabulous is it? It just looks absolutely amazing. And I see all it is, everything on there from the top up was cut with the shape creator, and the back as well. So I did an envelope back. Just overlapped, and all of that was all cut on the shape creator as well, so it can just show you what you can do with it. But we have another tool, Joe, as well, which you've just mentioned, which is the fabric cutter.
We do indeed.
Now,
you love this, don't you?
I do, and we've got it in a deal with the A2 mat as well, which I also love, because of the size of it, and also its portability as well, because it folds up. So you can actually get this, I get this in my trolley really easily. And also what I can do is store my pieces in here. So when I'm taking, if I've been cutting a block out or whatever, I've got all my pieces in there, so that then when that then goes into my case, they're going to all stay flat, because they're not going to get, if you didn't have something with them, you know, you can get scrunched up and then you've got to iron them again before you start. So that's another sort of bonus thing on it, really. So the fabric cutter is basically, it's another cutting tool that you can use. Let me turn it this way so you can have a look at it. There we go. So I can just quickly explain those little bits. I'm just going to get a bit of card under here just to show you underneath. There we go. So we can see that it's got grid lines on here. So you've got a 15 by 15.5 inch grid on here, starting from 1/8 of an inch in 1/8 of an inch increments. You've also got those lines again. So you've got your 30-degree line, your 45 and your 60-degree, which we saw on the shape creator. On this one as well, you also get in centimetres. So if you're a card maker or you sew in centimetres, you know, you've got your centimetres along the side and along the bottom as well. A lot of the shapes, apart from the circles, you can cut all those shapes that I just cut to make that cushion with this. The difference with this is this side bit here, and this is where the blade is. If I hold this up here, we can see. Now, if you have dexterity problems and you struggle to hold a rotary cutter, this is perfect for you, because all you're doing really is you're just pressing down on here. And when you press down on there, if I lift that up there, you can see that blade, see if I, tilt it the wrong way. There we go. Now we can see the blade, when I press, it goes below that sort of metal ridge. As soon as you leave loose, it goes up. Can you see? So you've got that health and safety sort of aspect of it as well. That it's only going to engage when you press on it to cut. And these blades are the same that are in your rotary cutters. These are your 45mm. All you do is unscrew this nut, similar to on the rotary cutters. Unscrew the nut. There's a magnet in there, so that blade isn't going to fall out and attack you or damage you. It's going to stay in that magnet there. I use a pair of tweezers then just to lift it off. Put a new one in, tighten it back up, and it's back on.
I guess as well, if you don't have the best dexterity for a rotary cutter, this is going to be awesome, isn't it, Bernie?
Exactly. And it does help you cut as well. So if I just get a piece of fabric here. Again, like the shape creator, it's got that big footprint, so it's going to hold your fabric in place. I'm just going to move that up there. And again, I'm going to line up my fabric with one of the grid lines on here. And then I'm going to press. Now, I'm left-handed. I'm actually using my right hand. I'm pressing on it, pushing it away, and that's totally cut.
Brilliant.
So I didn't have to put as much pressure on. The other thing as well with this one, now when you're using a rotary cutter, you don't try and avoid cutting towards yourself, because I know some people do because that's the way they cut, but you try and avoid cutting towards yourself so you don't cut yourself with the blade. With this one, if I move this up to here, there's a stopper in this end and at the top end as well, so it's not going to come off. So you can cut towards yourself. Now, normally I would do this left-handed because obviously I don't have as much pressure in my right hand, but I'm going to give it a go, see what happens.
Awesome.
So if you're running over like that, either way it's going to cut. There we go. So it will cut both ways. And again, like we're going to do with the others, if we wanted to cut something on an angle, you're going to line it up on these lines here and just see that you've got all the angles there. The other thing as well with this, just quickly, if you're doing a quilt and you haven't got a big square, and it'll say, I'll often say in my class, and I do in my classes, bring your big square because you need to square up your quilts. With this one, this is acrylic. So actually, if you were wanting to square something up,
oh cool,
you can use your rotary cutter up the side of it.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So I'm cutting up that way and up that way, and I have then the perfect angle on that way. So you can actually cut up that, but obviously it's made for to cut with this way, but you can do it that way. So yeah, so this is a good one to have in your stash, and to have that A2 mat with it as well, which it fits on perfectly. It's a really good combination on that one, Joe. So yeah, I do one of my other favourite products. I've just got so many, haven't I?
Kind of like, best way to think about it is like a shape creator, but with the cutting blade built in that you just run backwards and forwards, which is awesome. And you've got the A2 in there. Now, who is ready to save a stitch? That is what we're going to look at right now. We've got some great deals for you on the show. Nothing is particularly deep stock though, so you want it, I would definitely be quick for it. This is something that I know you're going to love, because what you've got in here are some of our multimedia dies for you. So this is our decorative daisy panel, which is brilliant. So you're going to get this one included. This cuts in, so it almost creates an aperture in whatever it is that you are cutting. You can use it for leather and cork and all sorts of things, but also things like balsa wood as well if you want to. And then what you're going to get is you're going to get this one here, which is your decorative flower, and you're going to get the cork in here too, which is brilliant. And it's the cotton-backed cork sheet that you're getting included in the Oxford blue as well. Lots you can do with these, isn't there, Bernie?
There is, and I've got loads of samples. I'm just getting ready, Joe.
Oh, you're like going out for a drive.
Well, there we go. So I've got some gloves here. If I can get them on with my little chubby hands. There we go. So I've got some gloves here, and we can see how we've just got, that's the flower design on there. How fabulous is that? Just on the back of the gloves. So doesn't that lift the gloves? They're plain on one side, and you've got those patterns on the other side.
I feel like you need a dry martini and a cigarette holder in those.
Me feather boy, I should have brought it in again,
yes,
shouldn't I?
Got
my money's worth. And then this one, like you say, it's cutting out of cork on this one. So this is one of our clutch bags that we've just cut it out of the flap design there and put some fabric behind just for it to pop. And then this is the one that's on the packaging. I love. Nice. I can't remember who made this, but I absolutely love this bag. And that again is just that detail cut into it there. And then we've got little just little like gift bags as well. So that's with our glitter fabric, or a little is that a little sewing roll or a little makeup case in that one? Or actually a boot cover as well, that could be. And this is my favourite. Look at this. How cute is that little dress with the daisy? And then can we see that we've actually, the pieces that have been cut out, they've cut away, have been appliqued back on. So you haven't got any waste as well. And then I know we've run out of time, Joe, because we were too busy gassing, but I was going to show you how to make one of these, and I'll just show you this quickly. So this is this is with the blue cork that's in the deal with these dies. And what I did was I just went, I've pre-cut it here. I used this on the fabric cutter. I just cut a strip of the cork. Let's do it that way. I folded it up at the bottom, and I can see at the side here where I've done. I stitched up both sides, and when I got up to the top bit, I just cut another little strip just to make the little piece just for the flap to go under. Once it was stitched, I then took it to the die cutting machine.
Oh, wait, did you cut 2 bits at once?
Yeah,
wow.
Because I wanted it to be perfect and match up. I didn't want it to move, so I thought, well, if I stitch it first, then I put the die on, put it through the machine, and as you can see, it cut absolutely perfectly all the way through. And then all I did was I just cut here, because this isn't going to fray, the cork doesn't fray. I just cut in and just cut up a little bit there. So then I've got my rotary cutter in there. You could have it for a glasses case, a phone case. You could make a bigger one for a laptop cover, something like that. And then you've got that little case. But yeah, I love those for cork and faux leather and our glitter fabric. And if you've stabilised your fabric as well, it's going to cut through your fabric as well. So they're brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Awesome. Do snap that upgrade deal, $26.98 at $38.94 on that. We've got a brilliant embroidery and monogram collection for you. And in here, you're going to get 4 stencils. You've got 2 packs. You get 2 stencils in each pack, which is brilliant. What you've got is the ornate reef frame. So the ornate and reef frame, I should say, stencil. We get 1 of each in there. They are reusable as well. And you've also got in here the vine and arrow frame and stencils too. We're then going to include for you some of the gorgeous threaders embroidery scissors, which are going to be perfect. And you've got some of the embroidery thread, or floss, as I know you guys call it stateside. Floss is a dance here, which the kids do in the UK. That one, there you are. So just so you know. But embroidery, Bernie. What a great little start. What a great little start kit. I'll teach you after the show.
That's the first time I've ever even attempted that. Just do it live on Crafters TV.
Why not?
Why not? Joe, I've got some fabulous samples for these. Honestly, look at this. I'm going to show you the original, or the first thing you're going to think of with these is that you're going to draw around the stencils. So you're getting 2 stencils in each pack. You're going to draw around the stencil, and then you're going to start stitching. So I've got my embroidery thread ready there. These colours are gorgeous, by the way. Look at those vintage colours. But then you can start filling them in. So if I do this, Debbie Thompson made this one. When I first started, I thought it meant design team, because we were in the design team that make it with Debbie Thompson. But what she's done here is stitched around here in the colours and done like, oh, this is beautiful, like different coloured threads in there, mix them up. But then let's go something different. If you're not embroidering, what about a plique? This one has been cut out of here. The S has been added separately, but this has been cut out of, now I don't know whether that fabric is heat and bond on the back, or it might have the fabric cut.
Okay.
Not fabric cut, fabric stabiliser on. Watch the show next week, because I've got fabric stabiliser on and I'm going to make something brilliant with it.
Brilliant.
So yeah, so you've got that, and then I've got another one here that's embroidered, but then this one, look at this, a little ring cushion. So this one has been used to decorate, and it's just used an element of the stencil on here with paint through it, just to pick up that detail along the end. So you'd mask off what template you don't want to use and just use that. But isn't that fantastic? Loads of different ways to use them, but great having your stash, because you're getting those threads, and these scissors are amazing, because I do use those all the time. They're sharp to the point, and they are really good for snipping. You don't want to be cutting your fabric with them. They're for snipping your threads.
Awesome.
Yeah,
you're getting the
brilliant.
stencils for free in here. Platinum members save £27 or $38, which is a really, really fabulous deal. I want to share something else with you now. Some multimedia dies for you, and they are the multimedia clutch bag dies, and these have got a whacking great saving on them again. It's a buy one, get one free, which is awesome. So you're going to get the scallop clutch bag, scallop, that's hard to say, isn't it? Scalloped clutch bag and flower, which is that one there. And then we've got this one here, which is the tote clutch bag and bow set. So you're going to be able to make 2 really awesome bags. You've got full instructions with these as well, haven't you, Bernie, which is awesome.
You have. These are our bag dies. These are the first bag dies that we ever brought out, and they have really stood the test of time, that people keep ordering them and keep getting them, because they are so easy to make. If I just quickly show you how the die actually works, when it comes to you, you're going to look, if you've not seen our bag dies before, it's cut. You cut your pieces on the fold. And what that means is, if we did it, so say if I get my plate for my Gemini, if we did the die that would fit on this plate, the problem we have is your bag's going to come out really small. So what the team decided was, oh, well, that's fine, because what we can do is, if we cut them on the fold, I'll just stick that off there, there we go. If we cut the pieces on the fold, we're going to be able to make a bigger product. And that's better, because obviously us ladies need a big bag to put everything in. It doesn't matter how big my bag is, I still can't find stuff in it. So I've got this one here is the scallop clutch one. Let me just show you a couple of examples of this one. I mean, this is great. I mean, isn't it fantastic? You get, if you try and freehand cut that, you're going to really struggle. You want it even as well. So again, going back to like the builder blocks, the accuracy's there. We've thought about it. And then you're also getting in here, you're getting the, which looks like a very strange shape, but these are to make your little flowers, to make the petals. So you'd cut numerous ones of those out. And this one on here, we'll put this one on here, all is just been done as like a raw edge. So they've all gone nice and fluffy, and some little pearls on the centre there just to jazz them up a bit. And then this one, we've slightly changed this one. I'm not sure who in the team made this. Might have been Trisha. With this one, we've actually not put the bows on, but we've made the, put the scallop on there, a bit of machine embroidery there, but also put a zip in it.
Nice.
So you can put a zip in it. So if you've got our zips on a roll, perfect time to use that. So that's the clutch one, to say that you're getting that bow with. And then the other one is the tote clutch bag with the bow. I absolutely love this one. Although I always think that looks like a pair of Y-fronts. Underpants.
Pair of what? Undercrackers.
Yeah. When you look at the pattern, I always think of it, yeah.
They're like going out knickers, those ones, though, aren't
posh
they?
ones.
They're not like, you know, big pants.
Posh ones. So yeah, so you're getting the pattern to make the bag. Now, with any of these, you can add straps on as well. A long strap if you want a crossbody bag, or a short one, or no straps at all, like that. But then we've got that little bow as well. So you can do the bow a couple of different ways. You're getting the pieces of the bow, so you can do a single bow like that. So just to do the single little bow, and this one's been done as a raw edge, and that one you've got the outside bit and then the inside bit as well. So you've got the little bit of bow as well in there. And you can take these dies to other projects as well. So if you're making, say, some little children's headbands or something, you know, you get those, you can get the Alice bands. You could actually cut some of these out of faux leather or glitter fabric and pop them onto the headband as well. So yeah, so that's
awesome.
They're the bag dies. Great staple to have, and like I say, they have stood the test of time in that everyone keeps ordering them because they're fantastic.
Brilliant. I mean, we haven't done a vote for a demo of the show, but I'm guessing you're going to put the cushion in, are you, Bern? It's got to be the cushion. It was your only sort of finished full demo, wasn't it? Really?
It was, yeah. We were gassing too long for me to finish my other ones, so. So this one, did you mean, Joe, this one?
That one there, that gorgeous one, yes.
Isn't it
so we'll pop that in. That'll be demo of the show.
Yay.
Couple of fabrics from Stuart Hillard now, from some designs that he puts together with the Craft Cotton Company. We launched these on the show, though. It's so popular. This is the Kyoto by Stuart Hillard, Kyoto Carp. It's a ½ metre piece for you, $4.49 or $6.74. Beautiful quality and really gorgeous design on there. We've got that one. We've also got the only other option. It is your last opportunity. It is the Kyoto Cherry Blossom. I love this. I think it's got kind of definitely obviously a very Japanesey feel to it. It's got a bit of a kitsch 70s vibe to it, which I also like. $4.49 or $6.74. Lots of beautiful things you can do with this, Bernie.
Now, when we had this, Joe, me and you had this on, didn't we, when we launched it? And I made this thread catcher. So it was basically with a long strap on there, so it sits under your machine. I have been using it through the show. It's got some threads in it. There we go. Evidence it was used. And it's absolutely fantastic. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful, rich orange on there. And then the other thing what I made on that show as well. Now this is the rice dishes that rice bowls that sold out. However, I made this case for my plates, my Gemini plates, and I used that
Nice.
carp fabric. And the other thing what I was thinking, Joe, but I know I've not got time, but I'm not going to spoil my cushion, was what I did before the show. I had a few minutes, so I got some of that fabric and I cut some little fishies out of the carp. I cut a few of them little carp out, and what I thought was, do you know what you could do if I get my cushion? We could have some little fishies in the sea.
Beautiful.
If you wanted, you could applique them on and put some little fishies in.
Fantastic.
If you wanted to. So you can just to your heart's content, decorate it.
Absolutely. I know we're almost out of time. What I would say is don't forget to check out your baskets. Also, don't forget to have a look at everything that's in this show on the Shop the Show button on the homepage of the website. There's all the sewing deals there for next week. There's loads of different tools there for you as well. Bernie, it's been a pleasure. Should we do it again together next week?
Let's do it, Joe. Let's do it.
Okay, brilliant. Same time, same place next week. However, you don't have that long to wait for more inspiration here on Crafters TV. Debbie Robinson is in the building. I've just seen her arrive. We have got a fantastic craft class together, which is all about double-sided dies. So we're going to demystify the world of double-sided dies, take it a little bit more back to basics, but we're also going to give you some awesome deals too. So make sure you keep it Crafters TV for the rest of this Super Sunday here. We'll see you back here in 90 minutes. Take care.